You're watching Shani Speaks Now.
What's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Shani here, your little big sis, because I might be short, small in stature, but I'm big in the sisterly love. And welcome to Always Keep the Faith Fridays, where I do the best that I can to give you a little gem, a little dose of motivation coming from your work week to your Friday and going into your weekend. How are you all? I love you all. I've missed you all. Now, technically, I've only been gone for a week, if I'm not mistaken, but full transparency, full vulnerability. It is my goal and it's my wish to do Always Keep the Fridays, obviously every Friday. However, life continues to go on and there's things outside that sometimes I can't control, and this is definitely something that I do out of sheer love and passion. It is not something quite yet that I'm getting paid to do, so I do it when I have the opportunity, and I always want to do it in excellence, so I don't want to just throw something together. So if there's a week that you are looking for an episode and it isn't quite there, know that it is not because my heart is in the right place, it is because my schedule is not in the right place. So I just want to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there, but I'm glad that I'm here this Friday, and I'm glad that you all are here watching too. To all of my faith fam, you all know I love y'all. Thank you all as always for your continued support. And if you are not a part of the faith fam, what you waiting for? I mean, come on already. Hopefully you will join, you will like, you will subscribe, you will share, and you will join the journey of Always Keep the Faith Fridays and anything that I share on here, because as you all know that watch, I'll do a vlog, I'll do an interview, which I have some cool vlogs that I am putting together now for you all. So be sure that you keep it locked and that you stay tuned right here. However, without further ado, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. Because today, let me tell you, you can tell from the shirt, from the earrings, it's going to be a good one. Now, have you ever had a moment where someone has said something to you that has thrown you so off? And the reason that it's thrown you off is not just what they said, but the person that's saying it, because this person is someone that you're close to or that you perceive to be close to, that you consider a friend. And in your mind, you're like, really? And then when you think about what they've said to you, you're like, you know what? Go ahead and get out of here with that. Well, that is not only the name of today's episode, but I'm going to share a little story, something that's actually stuck with me from my college days, that had me kind of shaking my head a little bit, but also helped me to realize the resolve of who I am and also what I can be and who I will be, and not allowing anyone to define that for me. So if you're curious, stick around and we'll get into it. Story time! So this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It was right there, people. It's right there. Work with me. Anywho, I digress. So this is actually a story from my time in college at UCF. Now, if you know anything about me, if you watch this at all, if you know me personally, you know that I love entertainment, I love interviews. That is something that I could do all day, every day if you let me. And that's been for a long time, like from my high school years. So needless to say, I go to UCF, go Knights, University of Central Florida, and I major in radio, television, broadcasting. While I'm there, there's an opportunity to audition for this show. I will not name the show because I do not want to put the names or any of the content out that may allow someone to know who I'm talking about in this story. But it's an entertainment show and it's basically all student run. And I was so excited because it sounded like right up my alley. Essentially, they were going to be doing interviews with different like celebrities, and if any local concerts or events came to town, you'd be the one to cover it. I was just like, yes, sign me up. Now, mind you, was not getting paid for this, but it didn't matter because it was just more about the resume building and the opportunities. And needless to say, I was super excited. So I auditioned, and when I tell you I nail it, like I nail it. Have you ever done something, had an interview or an audition where like you are done and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt like you killed it, and then on top of that you can tell in the faces of those that are watching you or that are listening to you that you killed it? Yeah, it was one of those moments. I was right. I mean, they didn't even wait until, usually you get like a call back or, we'll let you know. Like they let me know on the spot, like, nah, you pretty much got it. Yeah, we have some other people that we have to look at, to wait until they were finished with the process and see who they were going to choose. So, with all that said, fast forward into several months of doing the show, and I create a really tight bond with the team. We're all very just into this world of entertainment, and we love interviews and the hustle, and sometimes we'd have to cover things like super late at night or super early in the morning. We're all rooting for each other. We're all low-key broke college students, so we're having to, bum rides and pay for gas and all the things, and there's a bond, and I really create a friendship with these people. And I'll never forget the main producer of the show, who I was very close to. Me and them were having a conversation, and I don't know what I was sharing with them. I think I was sharing maybe about what I wanted to do after I finished, and telling them how I planned on auditioning for MTV and BET and E! Entertainment. And this is when, VJs were big, and there was a lot of music video shows and different television shows out there, and I was really interested in, being in that world. And I'll never forget, very matter of fact, they looked at me and they were like, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're really good at what you do, like, no doubt, that's why, I chose you, but you're never gonna do any of that, right? I was like, excusez-moi, what do you mean? And they were like, well, you're too dark-skinned, like, girls your complexion, I mean, you do well, don't get me wrong, but girls your complexion, like, they don't make it to the top. Typically girls who are, lighter, or who are mixed, or, who just have like a little bit more like an ethnic thing going on, like, they normally get those roles. So I mean, I'm not saying you're not gonna make it, but you're probably not gonna make it to like the top. Like, stop everything, like, pump the brakes. And I remember in the moment, I was hurt, but I was more just like flabbergasted that came out of their mouth, because they've seen me in action. They know what I can do. They chose me for the show. So for that to be what they thought, I was just, speechless, as I am right now. And I remember saying to them, I said, what does it have to do with anything? Yes, I know I'm very well aware of my melanated complexion, but I still have a lot of skills. I'm studying this. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at this. There's no reason why I won't be able to make it. I mean, look at Oprah. And they were like, yeah, but Oprah's the exception. Oprah's Oprah. Now, yes, I agree. Oprah is Oprah, but Shani is still Shani. It shouldn't have to be just one person who makes it in anything. And I was really just like, whoo, wow, okay. Well, I see there. But I remember in that moment, there was a bit of a trust loss, because I realized that I was dealing with somebody who really wasn't on my team the way that I thought they were, but also were showing their own preferences. But it also made me think of some really key, hard things that I had to learn. And if this is something you've ever encountered, maybe not that specific thing, but something that you've encountered, I want to be sure to share a couple of things with you that hopefully will help you if you're ever in a situation where someone says something that really has you thinking like, bruh, like, ma'am, you really got to get out of here with that. So stay tuned and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't live in a bubble. I am very aware that there's colorism, there's racism, there's discrimination, there's every ism that there is. However, I am the type of person who believes that if I'm able to work hard, if I'm able to really hone in on my craft, that my skills and who I am will be able to speak for me. And if there's something that I go for, I audition for, or I apply for, and I don't get it, then in my mind and in my world, it wasn't for me. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that what God has for me is for me, period. However, I don't necessarily feel that is something that has to define who you are and what you're gonna do or what you're gonna be. So here are a couple of things that situation taught me and that I've kind of carried with me throughout. So here we go. Is first and foremost, don't let others' biases, prejudice, or discrimination define who you are. Yes, you may not look like that person, you may not be like that person, you may not have that person's education or their particular skills, but that doesn't mean that has to define what you can do and who you are and what you can be. So no matter what someone says to you, if they come at you crazy or they say something that is out of pocket, so don't let the things that may be hanging on to them or the things that hamper them down hamper you down. Now, this is one of the key things that I actually learned is just because somebody is a friend doesn't mean that they're for you. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and me and this person are actually still cool to this day. No, we're not chummy besties, but we still have love for each other if we ever see or talk to each other, especially on social media. There's no beef, there's no issues, and truth be told, I don't even think they understood how what they said even affected me in that way, so there's that. Sometimes other people's prejudices or sometimes their insecurities can keep them from really rooting for you and really being for you and being the friend that you may need them to be. Keep that in mind. Just because someone is a friend or someone is someone that you may hold dear or hold close, they may or may not see you in the same way, and that's okay. And last but not least, which is something that I definitely did, be so amazing that you're undeniable. At the end of the day, I had the skills needed to do what it is that I need to do. There was no denying that I was great on camera, I was great on a mic, I was a great interviewer, and at the end of the day, those are the skills that got me the job in that campus show for a reason. If you are great at what you do and you keep on pushing, you're gonna make it no matter what anybody says about you. Just remember, as always, you've got this. And if no one else is rooting for you, your girl Shani is rooting for you. So what's this week's fake fact? Just because someone's talking to you cash crazy doesn't mean that what they have to say has to break you. Now, trust me, I understand that words matter. Sometimes the things that people say can be more hurtful than even them throwing a punch at you. Words can be death and they can be life. However, when you know who you are, and in my case, what I like to say is also whose you are, ultimately what people have to say about you doesn't have to define what you're gonna do or who you are going to be. Let your skill set, let your integrity, let your honor, let who you are, your personality, whatever it is, let that speak for you. And for those who may not always have the best or the right things to say, you know what? Give them grace, keep it moving, let it roll off your back. Sometimes people don't understand that while they think they may be speaking death, they're actually speaking life, because that actually was something that ignited me and let me know that I was going to continue to push forward with my hopes and my dreams to be exactly what I believe God had called me to be in the first place. So there, take that. Anyways, that is it for this week's episode. I hope that you all enjoyed that. Now, this is something that I don't always do, but it also was an idea that came to me. And obviously I speak from the heart and I speak as led, or I speak on things that kind of pierce me, that make me feel like I want to put something out there. However, this is also about you all. So if there's something that has been on your heart that you want to know more about, or if there's something that you wish that I would talk about that maybe I haven't experienced that I might be able to share, go ahead and leave that in the comments, whether it be my comments on YouTube or whether it be on Instagram. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'd love to give you all and allow you all to see things that may be helpful for you. And I also have some fun things coming up in the next couple of months. So just be on the lookout and continue to keep it locked and be here. And anytime that I can muster up an episode, you know it's gonna be right here. Now, as always, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share these episodes. I really love that. I'm hoping that this will be a monetized channel sooner than later. So that is the goal, but I need a lot more followers and subscribers between now and then. So help your girl out. Anyways, you all know how we end every show, and it is with the motto: always keep the faith and let the Lord fight your battles. Until next time, take care. Love y'all. Peace.